good morning, everybody. We are here in the club. It's November 4th. Look at the crowd. We've got all kinds of visitors. We got Snowbirds, Holly and Larry are back. We got all kinds of people. All right. Well, we're going to get started with this thing today. And why don't you tell us about your video, please?
This is just footage that I'd filmed of us raising monarch caterpillars. And it might be it might put you to sleep because it's the music that I put with it is kind of very mellow, overly mellow music. But it's a kind of a mellow occupation too. So it's kind of in that kind of
That genre?
Okay. Yeah, it's a mellow genre.
Well, let's check it out. Okay.
There was nothing boring about that.
That was very good, absolutely.
What did you think of the ambient sound of the birds and stuff with that?
I thought it was too loud.
Yeah, I would
I know.
have.
Well, is the question, though, I had it loud, if I turned it down, would it be fine? I like the effect. Well, she's not talking, so it's not like, now that comes to question two.
Yeah.
Would you love to see her do narration instead of doing the text?
Yes.
That scares me to get into there.
Oh, you just had AI voice to do it.
No, that's a bad voice.
They got some good ones now.
Well, Tom's is bad.
Well, that's because it's only $10.
Yes. If you did narration, I think it would be great. You've got a great voice.
Yeah.
And just seeing that text, if you're just talking a little bit of each thing that you're saying, I
That
think would be
have been
great.
my preference. if I knew.
Okay,
You would leave the text too,
no, I get rid of the
No.
text.
and she would basically read.
Just do the
say
narration.
text.
Yeah,
Exactly.
You might want to put
That's a
some
good
points,
idea.
Yeah, some facts or something.
well, that'd be fine.
but not
Yeah.
full text, yeah.
Yeah.
But just the fact that you told a great story.
Yes.
Oh,
You know, I don't see enough
Yeah, I learned
videos that tell stories anymore.
Yeah,
It was
right.
Well, the thing that's neat is we see them and I've never known the process. So
Yeah.
that's kind of very interesting to me.
There are a lot of people that do step-by-step stuff of raising monarchs on
Okay.
YouTube.
Nice.
That was just kind of an introduction. I couldn't really
Where was this?
communicate.
Was it
Where?
In Duluth, Minnesota, outside of Duluth.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, I do have one suggestion. If you weren't going to do narration,
Uh-huh.
I'm not a big fan of having text over the photos.
Oh, uh-huh.
Okay, so there's a couple ways you could do it. You could slide the photo over
Oh, and then do text.
and then run the text vertically in the negative space.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
The other thing you could do too, which would also help, is maybe add a drop shadow on the text, because especially when you got to the like this, or there was the shot with that one right there, it's kind of hard to read because it's a light background with the white text.
Yeah,
How do you drop the
there's-
shadow?
Which program are you using to edit?
Premiere Elements.
There's probably, when you put in your text, there's a text box and it'll have options like drop shadow and
Okay.
outline
And
or
you
glow or
just look for
something.
that, yeah.
Look for that, just click on it, it'll add a nice drop shadow.
But another option is to put a background just behind the text.
Yes.
You know, you can select a shape, put it
Oh,
behind
yeah,
the
I don't know
text,
how to do that.
and
How many,
How do you do that?
you use Premiere Elements too?
Yeah.
Can you do, how many layers of video can you do? Do you know?
many.
7.
Oh, so you can do, so you could definitely do like a
Yeah.
little,
Actually, I think it goes farther.
You can move them back and forth,
Okay.
you know.
Oh, good.
Move back.
yeah, some sort of a little,
I kind of wanted to do something like that, but I
Gradation.
just didn't know how.
yeah. The video this is a great video.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just think we're talking about little tweaks.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
If you do your narration, then you get rid of most of the text.
Mhm.
You don't even have that issue.
Yeah.
So Sherry Lee, isn't there a drop down that has some preset things with already boxes built in? And you
Okay,
could just take that and slide it in, you know, put it on top of the video.
Right.
And then type in whatever it is and drop shadows probably in that same.
And that's in the text.
yeah,
But you can select shapes
Right,
sure.
yeah,
and adjust them for transparency and color.
Yeah. yeah.
Size, the whole nine
A
yards.
little more work, but
Yeah.
I think that would take it over the top.
More sophisticated looking.
Well, it's not a lot of work if you save them, do your first one, save it. And then when you want another one, you take that first one you saved and you duplicate it.
Yeah, just copy and
And you
paste.
pull it out
Yeah.
and then you adjust it however you want. And you've already got the color behind that you want and size of the text and everything else. You know.
Yeah.
You just have to do it
Modular
once.
approach.
Yeah. Yeah.
Modular approach.
Gotta learn some new technique.
Yeah, good, Todd.
Well, I would just, I mean, to me, I mean, the music was nice. It was very ambient, you know, very mellow and everything. In parts of it, though, the birds were just too loud.
It's too high of a pitch. I wouldn't say it was too loud, but it.
Well, maybe if you just knock
Yeah.
down the volume on the ambient a little bit. I like ambient, because to
Yeah.
me it adds a little bit of that mood.
Yeah.
Maybe it just needs to be knocked down 3-4 decibels and you're good to go on the ambient.
Were the bird sounds from the video you took, or did you add that?
The bird sounds was stuff that I recorded on our property, at various different times.
Okay.
And so, but it was, actually the original video being recorded did have bird sound on it. as
Sure.
well. It had some bird sound. I thought, okay, I'll take some other stuff that I've recorded and add to it.
The other thing you might try too, and I don't know, since Diane is our Pixabay expert, does Pixabay have stuff like that?
Yeah.
The thing I'm thinking as a thought is drop all the audio out of everything and then just have a consistent piece of audio that would be, not maybe like Todd was saying, there's some high pitch, or Sherry Lee is saying there's some of it's high pitch. It
Yeah.
would be a little bit more neutral throughout the piece.
Mhm. Yeah.
That might be something to try too. You got some work ahead of you. But you know what? You got such a nice piece here. I think if you do some of these little tweaks, you're gonna have something that's really nice and put it out on YouTube.
I don't have the raw footage.
Oh, as in,
Well, in order not to get obsessed by a video, once I feel like I'm done with it, I erase the.
have you really erased all this?
Yeah. Not the finished video, but all the clips, yeah.
And so all the text, everything is done. It's gone in the trash. Why don't you save it?
Because I don't want to have to keep going back to it.
Oh, that's
I'll start thinking about it.
Oh,
And I think,
I
oh,
go back
maybe-
years later.
yes.
Yeah.
No, you won't, because your current program won't read your old.
Well, that's possible too.
I speak from
You
experience.
should go,
I know.
you going forward, you should save these.
I should save stuff, I know.
That way,
Just set up a file and just,
yeah,
But then you have to save the computer that's got that
well,
application level large.
possibly.
Yeah.
But like my premium was 20, and it brings my 17 and 15.
Right.
You and I
That's true.
worked with that long.
Well, anyway, I'm just thinking of, let's say like we've had these suggestions here in class or group. Now you could go back and do something.
I know.
Well, it's gone.
And
See
I
ya.
would too, because I think I might be able to,
Somehow
do
recover it.
it, which is oh no, it's gone.
It's gone. Okay.
But what you can save that is good on any other application is the actual material. If you've got bird sounds you like, put them in a stock file.
Now you could, the other thing that you could do though is you could take this finished video and take it back into your video editing program, drop the sound, drop the music,
Well, that
and
could be.
add
yeah, for
in
sure.
Yeah, you can do
the
that.
new stuff. So,
Yeah, then you could make it first.
yes. Yes.
yes.
That's what a big pack of flash drives on Amazon.
Yeah,
For $18, I got 10
yes.
flash drives. So what I do with a lot of projects that I might want to work on later, I just put all the data in the flash drive, but toss it in a box.
Yep.
So I don't have to bother with it unless one of these instances,
Right.
I say, wait a minute, I got
It's a good idea.
Yes.
That's a good idea.
I want to talk to you about flash drives.
Todd might want to talk about it too. Okay, does anybody have anything else on that?
Nice job.
Really nice job. Great story. From now on, save your project
Yeah, I
files.
think I will.
Okay.
Right.
Gene, why don't you tell us about the cat ladies?
Oh my gosh, listen. I have, this group gets you into learning experiences. And this was definitely an experience. I learned a bunch of things really fast. Number one, I'm never going to be a street videographer.
Okay.
You can't do it alone. I mean, you need somebody with a boom mic and a lot of equipment. And secondly, I experimented with editors on this. So what I did was I shot some basic footage on Esperanza and Nacanata and Green Valley on 2 Saturday mornings. And then I went home and I made a video for my granddaughters to use. And I did three editors. I did it in DaVinci. I did it in a thing called Shotcut. It's an open source video editor. And some of the same people that worked on DaVinci for that company worked on this
Okay,
free version. So what it is, it's kind of a DaVinci without all the extras. It's just a basic. When you look at it, you say, oh yeah, I know how to use that.
okay.
And then I tried it on the Windows Flip Champ thing just to see what would happen. And in my mind, and you'll see it in here, I wanted a custom transition
Okay.
between scenes with an American Eagle. Well, you can do a transition in DaVinci, but you gotta be a code writer.
Right.
That sucker's like everywhere,
Right.
you know? So then I skipped down to the Shotcut and I figured out they do custom transitions. And so what I did was I made a transition by lightening and darkening and opacity, and then I saved it as a custom and it worked.
Okay.
And then I tried it in Clipchamp. It worked, but I couldn't save it. I had to use the transition over and over again, paste and copy it, you know, where I wanted to go. There was no transition file to save it. And then I got all done with it, and there's some narration, and it was terrible, and I put it. And when again, if you see the people who do this for a living, they've got boom mics and other people running around, and they're miking these people up. Shit, I'm lucky these little years, much less mic them. But anyway, Mark,
Well, it probably helped if you weren't wearing your MAGA hat.
wasn't a real good experience, to say the least. But it was fun in the processing of the whole thing. I learned, like I said, I learned some stuff. I'm afraid to show it to you guys. But anyway, the music was the problem with it. I went and put up on YouTube, and I used a clip from the Democratic National Convention of Tim Walz singing Born in the USA.
Okay.
And YouTube wouldn't let me use it. And so then I went back and I had to get another piece of music and play with it and do all the stuff. But it worked. And my granddaughters loved it. They fancy themselves to be influencers or something. And it came out of the process that all old people are not receptive to their political vision. So this is what came out of it.
Now, quick question before I start. Now,
Yeah.
which of the three editors did you do this piece in?
This one is done in Shotcut.
Okay.
Between them.
All right, well, let's check it out.
Don't give
Here because this is the most important election of my lifetime. I'm terrified that Trump will get elected and that women will lose their rights, we'll lose our right to vote, we'll lose our rights as U.S. citizens to have democracy.
Don't give up.
I'm out here because I think it's very important for our communities to know that they can vote how they want and that the Harris supporters are here. We are here. We're not going back.
She said, I'm here for democracy, but I'm also here to support the military and the veterans and those who gave their lives for this country.
Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up.
Kids, freedom. We're out here for freedom.
Don't give up. 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 Don't give up.
I'm out here to support Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, you know, and you know, I can't see a way forward with re-electing Mr. Trump.
Don't give up. Don't give up.
It was tough. It was a lot harder than it looked, and I found a couple secrets. The one was the guy at the end, pull him out of the crowd. If you do an interview, you know, you're doing that street stuff. If you can get him aside somewhere and get in close, the sound is much better.
Sure.
I couldn't do it, when they went. But the other comment is, that's all shot on my Pixel phone.
Sure.
And the quality is just, I had no problem with it. My God, I could enlarge it, edit it, and play with it.
Sure.
So,
Go ahead, Todd.
Well, I want to ask about the transition. So you had the eagle and everything.
Yeah.
Are you able to adjust the amount of time that's up
Yes.
there?
yes, if it's too long or too short, they're a little long.
It's too short.
I thought it was
Yeah, I'm sorry, I need it shorter, shit.
No, longer.
Yeah,
it's longer.
Just like a
Yeah.
little flash.
A little bursty.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I can make it.
But you're right, the technical aspect of it fading in and out was not good.
Yeah,
Another editor would probably be better. I don't know that one.
I don't know either, I'd have to play with it.
Yeah. I like the concept, just.
What you're getting is it's kind of like you go from the shot to the
Oh, yeah.
transition and see how we don't really get it full.
Right,
Like we don't see the eagle full up and
Right.
then the transition out.
right, yeah.
It'd be
What I
nice.
didn't do, and I did it on one of the other versions, was I made the video underneath the ego also do a transition.
Okay.
And then it worked better.
Okay.
But you really gotta, you get a concept in your head,
Mhm.
and it's oftentimes very difficult to get that to come out on the video editors the way you see it.
Sure. Yeah,
These
I think,
computers don't understand how we're thinking.
That's gotta be it.
yeah, I think if you could just go in
Yeah.
and make that transition so
Right.
that we see the eagle, maybe for like a second, full up, and
Yeah.
then
Right.
transition to the
Sure.
next picture
Sure.
would be great. It's kind of a little confusing.
Yeah, it's all controllable, that's the neat.
Okay. Did you throw away your project files?
No.
Okay.
Oh, no. I
Okay.
even got, I put it on YouTube, and half of these people that are in the video have already looked at her, asked for a copy.
Oh, good.
Yeah, a bunch of people.
You should have been there last Saturday. There were more people than this on each of 3 corners.
Were there? I didn't do that Saturday.
Okay, does
So
any,
is there a ratio between the corners and, because one day
Yeah,
it's
about
3 to
10,
1?
10-1 the last Saturday.
and the other thing that you did well at the last guy you talked to,
Yeah.
you were very close to him, which is good, especially with a phone.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
like you said, getting away from the street and the other people, you're able to, the thing that's nice about this is because the people are behind Gene
Yeah,
as he's
yeah.
shooting, so he's kind of blocking some of that sound.
Yeah.
And he's got his phone, and he's got his phone like this, well, that's blocking, I'm
yeah,
blocking.
and I was
what's
using
going
it both though.
on. Okay. Well,
I think on this one too, I'd probably try to frame it a little bit more
Yeah,
to get less of the Walgreens building in it and,
more of the sign.
and more of the sign.
Well, that, or even just crop it,
Yeah,
get rid of some of that. Remember we talked about forced perspective?
Yeah.
Where he's looking off the frame in a sense to the right. If you crop it just a little bit, maybe in here, like that, although you got it, like Todd said, you'd like to get that sign in too.
Yeah.
So,
and when I'm on the subject of the editors, I saw a lot of ads for an editor called Filmora, and there were probably a ton of ads on YouTube and stuff for it. So it had this, you could have a sample for 3 days. So I downloaded it and played with the same video with Filmora, and I decided I wouldn't buy it if they gave it to me, because what they do is you get this piece of video and you put all these special effects in,
okay.
then they want to charge you for each of the special effects you used.
Is it a one-time purchase, meaning one-time purchase on special effect?
Yeah,
So you would have to, let's say you
Yeah.
just wanted a cross dissolve.
right, so you buy on their tokens, and you gotta pay $2 for this.
Okay.
And I thought, please, that's just like continually milking you. That's worse than that's worse than the Adobe stuff.
Well, sure, the subscriptions. All right, does anybody have anything else on that?
As long as you got Walgreens in the background, you should put a caption in there that says personally benefited from the prescription drug stop. Yeah,
That was just cute.
All
I
right,
probably did.
well, thank you for that, Gene. All right, last goodie of the day. This is one of my videos, one of my touristy videos, a place that probably some of you have been to. It's called Wisdoms down in Tumbach. So this is a quick little video about Wisdoms.
My parents started the restaurant in 1944. And this was the main highway from Tucson to Nogales, and that's the business that we depended on. And then in 1978, the freeway opened up, and it put everybody on the frontage road out of business. But we stuck with it, and we were able to make this a very successful place, and we're very happy to be here.
You know, we have been here since 1980, so people have known us forever. And they come in and they say, oh, my parents brought us here when we were little. And I remember the parents all the time, and we talk about them. And then the new customers that are coming in are just loving the place because it's small, but they love our food and they enjoy talking to the kids, all of our help, you know, the waitresses and the busters. And so they're always telling them how wonderful our food is, and especially our margaritas. So it's always a lot of fun here. It's a lot of fun to meet the new people and the new generation of the old people that we used to have here. Well, Celeste is the one that started the newsletter many years ago, and every Thursday she sends it out early in the morning, and the people get the word of the day, and they all come in and say, oh, we know the word. And I always tell them, well, just give it to your waitress and you'll get the 2-for-1 of either the fruit burros or the beer or the margaritas. So they do.
When we first opened the restaurant, after taking over for my parents, we served only chimichangas and fruit burros. Fruit burro is something that my great-great-grandmother started years ago, and that was what kept us going. Then later on, we got into a bigger menu, but the chimichanga will always be my favorite dish.
I've worked here since I was a kid, probably 14, 15 years old. Started washing dishes, bussing. Of course, later in high school, I was a server and went away to college. Got back together with my wife, now Celeste, who we went to high school together. And I told her, I said, let's go back to the restaurant because my parents helped me with everything. And I said, let's go help them out for a couple of years, and then, you know, we're gonna get married and we'll see what we do. And that was 27 years ago. So we've been doing this for a long time, and it's been wonderful. It's a tough life, is what I have to say, but the reward is smiles, the compliments, the hugs at the door. You know, it's really a family, and our customers are like family, so that's got to be the best part about it. She's one of the best. We've always told our kids not to take this place over because it's a tough life, but she's very interested in coming back and taking it over. And my son, who's 19, he's starting to show interest in it as well. I have to say it started with my parents. They built their reputation. For me and Celeste, we really just had to keep it up. We're just lucky to continue it.
So I'm 4th generation. I've basically been in here since before I was born. Before my parents took over, my mom was pregnant with me, so she waited tables while pregnant. She waited after I was born. I had my crib in that room, the little corral back in the corner. My grandma and I made forts right over there. So I've been in here my whole life, and I started working as soon as I could, but there's pictures of me this tall, apron full of straws, smiling super big, and since I started officially working, I haven't really left. So it's been 23 years, basically. One of my favorite things about working here is seeing all the regulars. We have a couple that comes in every single day, and those are my favorite people to see. I also love seeing all of my coworkers. We're all really close. It's one big family in here. So I love coming in, seeing all of them. We have a lot of new faces as well, which is fun.
We are the 3rd generation coming in to run the place after my husband's grandparents and his parents. And so Cliff and I expanded the menu, and we added margaritas, which has been huge for us. We're home of the world famous fruit burros. It comes in different flavors, served with ice cream, and people love the fruit burro. We have a delicious soup and salad combo. And of course, my favorite, the turkey chimichanga. We created an outdoor dining space and just kind of took what his parents and grandparents did and almost like a plant that we just added water to help it grow even more. Our customers were incredibly loyal to us and really supportive during the pandemic. It was incredible to see the response. So when we were able to reopen and get back to business, it was wonderful. And we've just really felt the support of our customers. And at the same time, I've noticed in the last year or so, we've seen a lot of new faces. I think the help that we get with the tourism agencies and the area is growing. And our kids work with us now too. So it's all of us in here, and we usually have employees that stay with us for a really long time. So it's kind of like a family atmosphere in here, behind the scenes and in the front of the house.
Visit Tumacacri. We live it. You'll love it.
Visit Tumacacri. We live it. You'll love it.
Visit Tumacacri. We live it and you'll love it.
Visit Tumacacri. We live it, you'll love it.
Visit Tumacacri. We live it. You'll love it.
We can love the black and white and then transition for the interview.
Yeah, thank you.
I like that technique.
Great job on the lighting and the audio one.
Well, the lighting was all ambient lighting.
Really?
Yes. We did not have any time to, the backstory of this, I think we shot 6 locations in one day, and literally, so you're trying to get the B-roll, you're trying to do the interviews, and you don't have a lot of time to do it. Now, there's a couple of things that I went back and shot on an off day, but in terms of B-roll or just photos, still photos. But going forward, if we do more of these, I'm gonna say, okay, you got to give us at least 2 hours at a location at minimum, just so you can sit there and do some lighting if need be. But the camera does a great job. So, yeah.
So this was a commercial thing.
Well, it's a series. You haven't seen it, but we did a series. We did about 6 some bed and breakfast. We did the Mission.
But to put it up commercially,
I mean, they're doing it. I mean, it's more of a tourism thing. So Visit Manoa is putting it out there, and then they'll have this on YouTube. They could use it if they want. We did one on Abe's down there. So anyway, yeah, just a great series. Yeah, Danny.
How do you transition from a still photo to a video? Like it just.
Yeah. Well, basically, all you're doing, it's really very simple. It's just a framing aspect. If I put that up again, hang on. What I'm doing is I'm doing a screenshot of the video of the people. So let's say, hang on. There's Cliff. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. There. Okay. So I take a screenshot. I take it to black and white. I add a little noise to it just to give it a little bit of a gritty feel. And then what I do is when I go to, I line up this picture to somewhat match where he is in the video. So I'll move that picture around. So probably 14, 15 years. Yeah. And then it's just a fade out of the still picture into the video.
Nice. Yeah.
I started, thanks. It's sometimes, a lot of times when you're trying to interview people and there's there's pauses, there's ahs. Well, you need to clean that up, and that's where the B-roll, the photos or the video comes in handy. Right. Well, and I started doing this with some of my Caterpillar jobs because the guys that we're interviewing were not real good. And so I'd have a picture like this to start so I can put up their name and maybe their company, and then we go to the video. So anyway.
Okay, so you told him where to sit because look at the lighting. That's perfect.
Well, yeah, definitely. Well, I picked the spot saying, okay, this is where the window is right here. So he's getting that nice window light coming in. And then he's getting a little bit of ambient light coming on the backside. That's that warm light. So, yeah, I mean, you try to, probably the one that was the toughest was Sasha's. Yeah. Because she's
got so much dark.
Well, and it's, hang on, here we are, right there. I mean, I'd love to have put a little fill light on her. You know, she's got the light comes, there's a little bit of window light that's coming in on the face. You see the color's natural, but then you've got the warm light coming on top. If I could have just put a little fill light in there just to fill those shadows a little bit, would have been nicer. So, anyway.
You guys are looking for a project and gonna tear the house down, it's done shortly.
Haven't they started?
Yeah, it's starting to tear the inside out now.
Okay. Well, there you go.
So what type of mic were you using for this? Your boom mic or?
This is a shotgun mic that's right on mounted to the camera. So again, from a standpoint of time, because you don't have time to sit there and put a lavalier mic on it.
Yeah, right.
And you're fairly close. The shotgun is a directional mic.
Yeah.
And so probably from her, maybe 4 or 5 feet away.
Wow.
That's more than enough.
Yeah.
So
This was before or after hours?
this is before hours. So we interviewed right before they opened. And then the other one that was insanely nice was, as we got there, it literally was snowing.
Oh, wow.
That's not,
You didn't add that.
Really?
that's not fake snow, that's real snow. So,
Wow.
Even though it's pixelated?
the funny thing was, I was like, we pull up, it's snowing, and I'm like, quick, get the phone, and I'm grabbing the phone, I didn't even have time to mess around. I'm like, just get a shot. So anyway,
Wow.
yeah, so that was, and you can see the ground is wet, so anyway.
Kevin, you said camera and then you said the mic. Which camera are you saying?
It's the, I've got a little Canon, it was
Okay.
an XS405. It's like a little documentary video camera. It's got image stabilization. I've used it before on some of these really quick things. When there's time, then I use the big camera, the big
So
camera.
you had mounted that directional mic.
There's a spot right on the
Okay.
thing to mount that mic, and it
Right.
plugs right into the camera, and away you go.
I have a little rack for my phone and the phone sits in the rack and the mic goes right on top of it.
Yep.
It's got 2 little handcuffs. Really, really nice for that, because you can get right in.
Yeah,
Bring it. Bring it. Next.
there you go. Okay, does anybody have anything else? All right, good job.
I'll attest to their margarita.
Right.
Did you know that Grandpa Wisdom played for Chicago Cubs and was a baseball player?
Yep. Yeah, we got into all that.
Yeah.
That was a good reminder.
Yes.
20 odd years ago, when we were here early, there was an old couple.
Yes.
Who introduced us to this place.
There you go.
A long time ago.
So that's one of my favorite restaurants in all of Southern Arizona.
We're meeting next week on the 11th. Goodbye to our YouTubers. We'll see ya. See ya.